So
Awesome.
I had purchased it for them to use while they were in school, etc. And I was renovating it and quarantining there also.
Got it. Hey, Dr. Lamb. Hey, Robin.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good to see you all.
How's everybody?
Good.
Let's see.
Dr. Lamb, are you recording or am I recording?
It says that I am, I believe.
All right.
I think I am, but one way or the other, we're getting it recorded, so we need to save this for posterity. This will be in the National Archives.
I save them, all of them, and go back and watch them 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I know, I do too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just pearls of wisdom, just gems. Oh man.
I've served on a Cogna advanced ed visit today. And so I am working with that tomorrow and Wednesday also. And that has been very interesting to see it from a virtual perspective and to see some of the standards and how the standards are very student-centered, just like what we are talking about in our program too.
Yeah, well, I can't ever remember Cognia. We still call it advanced ed, but they're much, I look at them in their relationship to SACS, much like CAPE is now to the old NCAPE. It's all student-centered. It doesn't care. They don't come and count your desk anymore like
Correct.
we used to in textbooks, like we used to when we did SACS. Well, NCAPE did much the same thing, but as we found out during the CAPE process, it's all student-centered. It's all about data. And it's not so much about just collecting the data. It's all right, now what are you going to do? Now that you have this, it's what's next? What's your plan? What are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
And that's the way CAPE was. You weren't with us when we went, all the folks, everybody else was with us when we went through CAPE. And it was, the focus was always, you have to set up these data collection systems. But then more importantly, they would just breeze through that stuff. All right, what'd you do with it? What plans do you have now? What have you done? And that was the part that was the hardest, in that nobody had ever done that before. It was always a show and tell before, and where it's now, so what? What have you done? So
exactly.
That's actually a good thing.
I just felt like I needed to have the training because it had, just to stay refreshed with it and stay up to date with what they were looking for.
Right.
And some school systems are using it, and then some school systems are using the one through DPI. I think depending on their boards of education and what their boards believe in.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting day. We started at 8 and we've been working on our data.
Oh, Lord. Long days. Long days. Well, welcome, everybody. I see it's 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. Danny, do you have an update from Kathy?
I do. I just got off the, we're texting with her a few minutes ago. Folks, it is nothing less than a miracle. Yesterday afternoon, about, first of all, Ken, her husband, has been in intensive care for 11 days. Yesterday, about 5:30 or something, she sent me a message. I talked with her earlier in the day. She sent me a message, and she said that that they had told her to call the family in last night. The family came in. She said he was unresponsive. Just everything was just. He woke up sometime during the night, speaking complete sentences to her. Told her that he had to do whatever he had to do to get out of there, and he actually ate applesauce today, and if things progress, they're moving him into a room tomorrow. She is just beside herself. I've kind of been the one that she's communicated back and forth with, because she's had to be in there by herself, and her son couldn't go because he was sick. So she's been kind of a lonely person for the last 11 days in that hospital, but she's kept it. It is, y'all, I've kept up with it the whole time. It is nothing less than a miracle.
Great.
And a whole lot of people praying. So
Yes. She
Power
told me to make sure I
prayer.
told everybody.
Well, that's great. That's good to hear. Good to hear.
and not to distract from Ken, and I know Kathy has been completely distracted. It literally happened right after the election, but she did win the most votes by a landslide. So.
That's great. She got elected to the school board there in Henderson County, and that's great. That's well, I'm pleased for her and for Ken. That's good news. Certainly good news. Okay. All right. The biggest reason I wanted to meet tonight was we're doing our Legacy Town Hall at 7 tonight, and let me share that with you. The agenda that you've been with us before, you know, it looks much like the other ones that I always do. The only thing on this one, so please kind of pay attention as I go through this and chime in if I've missed something or if you need a clarification, because students will ask the same questions. All right, so all students, masters and add-on, have to apply to graduate. It's 150 for masters, and we do have a few of those, not many, that are off cycle. They're mostly my doctorals, that the EDCI doctorals that I mean, they're mostly our completers that came back. We have 4 of them that are completing, and then we have 4 more that only did 1 course. So we do have 4 of those that potentially are taking 602 and 604. So they're invited tonight, so they can participate in the virtual ceremony, send their materials in, and they'll put their name up when they do the virtual ceremony on the 12th. My feedback on that, and I doubt anybody read it, that I gave them on that was there was some glitch with whoever fed the information in. I called and talked to folks. If they had a Twitter handle or tag, it came up rather than their name. So hopefully they've got that fixed this time, so their name will come up. For our graduates, and again, we only have 4 who were our add-ons that came back. They participate. They have a ceremony. If you didn't watch it back in October, and then their name comes up and they can send in a picture. So we have 4 of those. Now the others, our add-on licensure folks, they don't participate in that ceremony. And so what I have done, let me roll down to that. Virtual commencement is Saturday the 12th. Make sure you've applied for graduation. University will hold it at 10 o'clock. Add-on licensures do not participate, and for that reason, the MELS faculty will hold a virtual reception for MELS add-on licensure completers at 1 p.m. All right, the more details forthcoming. This is this group. What are we going to do for these people? I'm thinking I might even invite the people from spring and summer add-ons that didn't get to do anything. That'd be a couple hundred people. What are we thinking about we should do for them at 1 o'clock on that Saturday? I mean, do you think I ought to send out a notice and have them send us material, pictures? I mean, I don't know. Should we just have their names? And what would a virtual reception look like? Somebody, anybody.
I went to a virtual birthday party, and they asked everyone to bring their own cupcake and decorate it. So that's something we could consider, have everyone bring their own little cupcake and show their cupcakes.
I had one, but I mailed the Little Debbie cakes to everybody, but that's probably a lot of mailing we have to do.
I don't know.
Dr. Lamb, it could be after whatever you say. You know, you don't know how many people will show up virtually, but it could be an opportunity just to give them a chance to speak and to say what they want to say just a minute about, about their experience, and, after you thank them, and, it could be an opportunity to give them a voice.
And Dr. Lamb, do we know if many of them have already gotten an administrative job? That might be a good place to highlight
Right.
some of them and giving them an opportunity to talk about anything they want to, if we had a composite list of those.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I said we'd have to request information for them, or we could just have them volunteer it, or we could send out a questionnaire and say, have you gotten a job? And we could also give them the opportunity to share. I don't
It's
know.
a time too that they can have their family right there with them, their children and their spouses, and let them be seen, like, because that's what we made a big deal over them when they actually came. Just let it be their minute of fame and glory, whatever we do.
Yeah.
So while these were high school seniors, what we did for our close to 100 seniors last year is we had like a slideshow that just told where they were going to college, yada, 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 versus you could talk about, like, you could have a picture of a slideshow and then talk about what their plans are or whatever they wanted to add and just roll it. So it wouldn't take forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what,
continuously roll it.
yeah. Picture and data, info, and roll it. Put it on a PowerPoint.
Yeah, that would work if you did a slide for each of them.
Right.
And then if they were there, then they could, come on at that point and speak. And if they're not, you would at least have their name and some sort of recognition. And that would be a way to organize it and sort of say, okay, there's this person, this person, this person.
Dale, before you do all this work, could you get any kind of info from the interns that you're talking about and see if they would be interested in attending? I mean, you hate to do all this work and have a third of them or half, a small amount show up and do all this work. And I didn't know if you could do some kind of survey to these people and say, look, would you be attending, or would you be interested in attending?
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking is if we collect the data, we can make the slide. And if they send a picture, fine. If they don't, we have their name, and we just roll through that, whether they attend or whether they don't. That way, it's not dependent upon that. We would video it and send out the link to the video if they wanted to see it later. But to speak, I think what we do is maybe we'd ask for how many would come, and if we should probably try to plan to have maybe a certain number to speak. Just like any graduation, any commencement, you'd have X number to speak about their experience. I think something like that. I don't know that we could open it up to everybody to speak. So what if we had 250 of them wanted to speak? I think we would probably, maybe pick like 10, 3 from each of the 3 completing groups. We'd, 3 that wanted to say something. We'd do something like that. And so that would be like, that'd take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and the whole thing be over in 45 minutes, something like that. That's kind of 30 to 45 minutes is all I was thinking about. And we don't have to have them all with us live for it to work. These are things I'll put something together, but I'll need to send it out and get some information. But I like the idea of just rolling the slideshow,
Right, that's good.
where their data just like they did for the commencement, it pops up, but make sure their name comes up rather than their Twitter handle. I don't know how they got that wrong. But yeah, have their name, where they were, the job that they're in, something like that. Maybe their job before, if they've got a new job, and now their job after, something like that. Celebrate what they've done. But I'll put something together.
Yeah, you've got their reflections, just
Yeah,
like
I
Alan's
do.
reflection. I mean, this
I've
program
got
has turned
those.
Alan's life around. Alan
Yeah.
Ridnour, his whole life has been turned around as a result of this program. And, I think about him as being able to say something that would be meaningful to everybody.
Yeah.
But he'll say it in 5 minutes, Danny.
I know that. But if
Dale,
you,
have we thought about, for the speakers, if we could find out the ones who have gotten the job?
Well, that's what I meant. But
Rated job or
about
something.
3 that have gotten a job.
Right, and then they could talk about their experience at Gardner-Webb as well as what took them to the next step, how it prepared them. That's
Exactly.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to pick one that's been passed over and, hadn't gotten a job, or, what was it? I had one recently, I guess it was from the summer. She was angry. We said she should have waited because she couldn't get a job. She should have waited and gotten the principal's fellowship program. That they wouldn't pick her in her district, and I didn't have the heart to tell her they wouldn't have picked her for the principal fellowship either. But that's another story entirely. But yeah, I think, Steve, you're exactly right. We'll try to pick about 3 that we know have gotten a job and have them say something. That would be from each of the 3 groups. If we're going to do spring, summer, and fall. If we only do fall, the spring and summer people will be mad. So we'll go ahead and do something. But yeah, we're going to pick about 3 from each group to speak about their experiences that have gotten jobs as a result of going through the program. I think that'd be great. That would be great.
Also, Dale, if we could make sure that it's a diverse group with gender, race, sex.
Oh yeah, we always do that. Of course, we don't have much of a problem with that. Our group is very diverse. As y'all found out during CAPE, we are the bell cow for all programs at Gardner-Webb. In terms of those kinds of things, they use our data for everything. Mm-hmm. Completion rate, getting jobs, diversity, everything. I have to supply data to every department on campus so they can use our data. So that's a good thing. I'm not making light of that. That's a good thing. Just like we're doing a 5-year case study. That's because we have, we meet all the metrics for all the programs. We're the only program at Gardner-Webb that meets all the metrics that we're supposed to meet in terms of completed on-time completion, quality in their job in terms of their evaluation ratings. We meet all of our diversity check marks. We are the golden child. And so that you're exactly right. We would expect to portray that through our program when we do this celebration as well. That's a good point. All right. So that's some good ideas. I'll put this together and get back to y'all on that. So be looking for that. Let me share my screen again, and let's go back here.
Dr. Lim, I just shared my slideshow from the spring with you. So if nothing else, that'll just get you maybe an idea of what something could, whatever, just to get you started.
That's what I'm looking for. That's great. Send me that. All right. So here are the people we're meeting with tonight. Our spring 23 semester add-on, that'd be Dr. Stone, Whitaker, and Zons. And then here are the things that they have to have done. Here are Dr. Sanders' group that's in 604, everything that they have to have done. Our spring 5 full semester Dr. Talent's group that's in 603. I want to go ahead and meet with them as well tonight, even though they won't finish until summer, to make sure they know where they are and what they need to have done. Again, the virtual commencement information, a reminder to them that because of COVID, we don't get the certificates in anymore. They're dropped straight from Johnston's, and it'll probably be February before they get them. Important dates. Make sure my dates are right, Steve. Rachel and Sarah, these should be the right dates. Monday, November 16th, a week from today, we should have their 6 evidences in. A week after that, 2 weeks after that, on the 30th, we should have their portfolios complete. I have to get the final graduation list. Even though they don't graduate, I have to get the final completer list to Luann by December 1st. The good thing is it won't hold up the printing of the graduation program because they don't print them now.
Hey, Dale, would you check that date for November?
Yeah.
No, I think it's November 23rd, isn't it? Or is it next? It's not this Monday, it's next Monday. And today is what, the 7th? What's the?
Today is the 16th.
Today is,
16th.
Today
so
is
it's
the
next, it's
16th,
the
isn't it?
23rd, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think.
I hope so, because otherwise I'm doing a lot of heavy breathing over here.
Mhm.
And you took away your
You're
Christmas
right.
tree too, Rachel. I'm disappointed.
All right, so we got Monday, November 23rd. I put today's date. You know, when you hit enter, it puts today's date. So it's the 23rd, and then the week following is the 30th.
Mhm.
And that gives me a day to get it ready to go to Luann. We'll, you know, since they don't graduate, we'll let them go on up to try to finish. But we always establish, if we don't, we'll have some that, you know how that goes, that they'll slide past the time. And on the 12th, if they've not finished by the morning of the 12th, they'll roll them. So that still gives us nearly 2 weeks, gives us like 10 or 12 days that we can still work with students. But I would like for them to try to get everything done by November 30th. So that should be it. A reminder for them, because they all do it wrong, to put their final semester log in their competency folio, but they have to upload all 3 in TaskStream for evaluation. Now, I didn't put a reminder in there about their competency folio, because if I do, they'll all upload it now. And once it's uploaded, you know, it has to be completed first before it can be uploaded. It says competency folio completed. But I did put the reminder about the logs. That is confusing because it goes in 2 different places. And a reminder on the definitions of the people that work with them and what they do. And then Eric Figueres sent this today about a helpful suggestion of grants that the sections from the AppSell and the AppTel, he used those to write grants. It's very useful. So just a suggestion from him. Is there anything that I've missed that we need to make sure that we cover with this group tonight? I think that's everything that we need to hit with them. Normally, there is no normally now, but it's been a little bit, it's a little different than it normally is. And so if there's anything that I've missed, next Monday, first soft deadline, the following Monday, try to have their portfolios complete. Remind them, as always, not to upload their competency folio until it is complete. It's a one-way thing. They've got to move it over to their DRF portfolio to get it evaluated. But once they move it, it can't go back and it's done. So remind them of that. And they can publish and share it with prospective employers, but that not to move it for evaluation until it's done. Then they can't go back and add to it. They can go back and add, but they can't redo it for us. Is there anything else that we've missed?
Are you also going to do the interviewing tips?
I am going to do interviewing with them. I've got the materials. I'll do that with them.
Okay.
That's why I was talking about, I want to go through this fairly quickly so that I can spend the most time. I'll send this to them. They'll have this, and I'll tell them that when we get through, I'll send it to them. If I have time, I'll send it before we start here. But anyway, we'll send them this. So hopefully I've got a few minutes. I'm going to try to, now that we've completed it, glad Steve caught that. I'll send them this, and then along with the, I'm going to send them the interviewing materials as well. I know they're in your shells, but I'll send them along with this. And then hopefully we'll be able to get in and out in an hour, since we have all this pretty tight on what we're going to do here. And as I'll tell them that will be more information be coming this week, and I'll work on this. I'll work on the ceremony, what we're going to do, and I'll send out information to collect information on that later this week. All right. Anything else that I need before? All right. All right. I'll see y'all if you got class. I understand, but not. I'll see y'all at 7. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.